What's poppin', guys? Sizzle here, and today I'm bringing you the CSGO Operation Riptide sticker tier list. So first things first, we have Seeing Red, which is a mediocre design. This might be really cool for like an operator having like a scar on the eye and these bushy eyebrows and mustache, but on a weapon skin, it doesn't really fit with any skin that I can think of. And on top of that, even if it did, it has this massive red border around it, which would detract from pretty much any skin you try to put this thing on. So for that reason, I think this design is an easy F tier, and that's where I'm gonna be putting it. Next up, we have Deadeye, which is already a vast improvement. There's no massive border around it. There's no like background to speak of. It's basically just a PNG, and it has a very nice color scheme. Dark blue works with a lot of different things, and this kind of fade here in the middle is very nice. It can work with a lot of skins, including the non-fade ones, but this definitely works with the fade skins if you want to put it on it. I could see this working pretty well with a lot of different weapons toward the middle or front of the weapon. I don't really see this working toward the back end or by the trigger, but there's a lot of sticker shots just for that reason, so I think it's a pretty decent sticker. I would say it's high C tier, like low B tier. I'm gonna put it in B tier for now and just leave it at that, and I might move it around later, based on the other ones. Next up, we have Great Wave, which is a much bigger sticker than that last one. It has a good amount more height to it, and it is like a wave, so that can work, I guess, on some like water skins, so, well, it's like water-based skins through the back, which I guess there's a good amount of. Or just anything with a lot of blue, this could work pretty well, I guess. But being this big and in like the shape of like a reverse C, I don't see too many places that this would work phenomenally. I don't think it would be too horrible anywhere, but I think this is very skin specific, and I'm sure some people can find some crafts for this, but it won't be useful for most people. So for that reason, I think the stock wave would have to be kind of high D tier, maybe low C tier. Um, Next up we have Gutted, which is a phenomenal sticker. There's a lot of CSGO skins based in the water, based on animals, and just based on like dead things. There's a lot of like skull-based skins and stuff, and this can work with pretty much all of those. And being curved just like this is really good for it because for a lot of weapon skins, there's a spot where there's either a big curve or for most weapon skins, right around the trigger, the whole weapon kind of gets curved like this, like the AWP or AK. The weapon kind of goes curved like this. So being curved like that is really good on a sticker, and it's a really nice design, and the design it has works with a lot of different themes of skins. So I think this is a really good sticker that will definitely work toward the trigger area of the weapon. I don't really see it working out anywhere else on the weapon, but for the trigger section, this is a phenomenal choice of sticker. So I'm gonna definitely have to put that at a pretty easy A tier. Alright, so next up we have kill count, which is interesting, I guess. This is a very bad design for just anything, sticker, skin, whatever you want. It's just a bunch of burnt matches with some fire in the background. Not really anything to look at. It's not as bad as that first sticker we looked at. I don't think this will take away from a skin, but I don't think it'll add anything to a skin, and I think it'll be very hard to use with anything because, yet again, like the wave skin, this thing is absolutely massive, except unlike the wave skin, it also is completely filled in. So that would be a really hard skin to use, and it's kind of a hard sell for me. So I'm going to put this at a low D tier, possibly even in the F tier. I kind of have to think that one over. Next up, we have the Operation Riptide sticker, which is really, really clean, surprisingly. This design seems like it could be put anywhere because of this life raft and kind of the water perimeter, and the kind of aggressive way this shark pops out of the sticker would help it pop out of the weapon. And I think this could work really well toward the front of a lot of weapons, or very, very easily on like the scope of a sniper rifle. I think that's by far the best place to put it, like the scope of like the AWP or the scout. If you can put it on the scout, I don't really know. But definitely toward the front of pretty much anything. And it seems like because of the border it has going on, it's not super intrusive, but it could work with a lot of different skins in the front half of the weapon. So for that, I think it's definitely gonna have to go above our other shark-based sticker, but I don't really see it anywhere. It might not be in this tier list, so you might just have to kind of remember this is oh, there it is, found it. I think it's an easy, like high A tier. Honestly, debating putting this as an S tier, but I think hollows and stuff like that kind of add a lot to stickers, and this isn't a hollow, obviously. Next up, we have Liquid Fire, which is a very interesting design. It's kind of in the shape of a water drop and made up of a bunch of these different fish-looking things, but at the end of the day is like a blue fire, and being the color blue is great. There's a lot of blue CSGO skins, a lot of them are very good, so this could really fit with a lot of skins. I would say toward the back of the skin probably, or like the middle front area, if you know what I mean. I don't really know how to describe it. This is definitely not going to be put on the front of the weapon or around the trigger, but toward the back or the middle between that front and trigger area, it could probably work pretty well with most things. The little eye, like teardrop shape, works very well in a lot of places. And this design is really cool. I actually think this design could work really, really well on a skin. Like put this on like an op or something as a skin and not just a sticker, and it'd be great. And I think it's actually a pretty decent sticker too. I'm gonna have to put this it's pretty easy B tier personally. I think it's a bit worse than the goggles. I don't know why I think the color scheme of the goggles is just a little bit better for a sticker. Next up we have Chicken of the Sky. So this is a really easy one for putting it in like the scope of an op or just generally the front of the weapon. It has that same kind of aggressiveness of the shark, but without being like super kind of violent everything. It's a lot more like calm, but like like the deadly silent killer kind of vibe. And having a chicken on anything is always really great. It's kind of something that's known about CS is everyone in the game just loves chickens and they're all over the place. So that's always a big plus. And I could really see this working a lot of different spots on the weapon. I think this could work in any kind of sticker slot. And I think because of this color scheme, it works with a lot of skins as well. I'm kind of interested to see how this one actually is on skins, but without that full knowledge, I'd still rate this one pretty highly. So I'm gonna have to put it up, probably low A tier, high B tier, if I can find it. Let's see, Chicken Sky, yep, there it is. All right. Next up we have the Deadeye Hollow, which is like a more shiny version of Deadeye with the same color scheme, but also some very cool hollow effects added. So, like the Deadeye, I think it works with most skins. Being a hollow is a massive plus for this skin. It works very well with the hollow. I'm gonna have to say very high A tier, very close to being an S tier for me, but not fully. I think these cracks take away a bit, but that could also help with some skins, like the new like Pablo Picasso AK or whatever it's called. This would work perfectly on there because of all these cracks, but it makes it less applicable to other guns. Then we have the Great Wave Hollow, which is like a rainbow version of the wave, and being a hollow, this works so well with so many skins now. The main problem with the original Great Wave is that singular blue color made it very limited in what you can put it on, but the general design is very kind of non-intrusive despite being massive, and it just works. I think this massive kind of rainbow looking like reverse C, like you barely even notice that it's a wave, is just really cool looking. I think it's definitely one of the better stickers in here, but I don't think it's as good as that kind of shark jumping out, so I'm gonna have to put it between Gutted and the Riptide sticker. Next up we have Kill Count Hollow, which the flames are no longer red, and the matches are a bit less burnt, but these matches take away a lot from the skin. I think if it was just a fire, it would be kind of cool, work with a lot of skins, but these matches just get in the way and look kind of ugly. So, despite this being a hollow, I think it is honestly just slightly above its original design in the D tier. And then next up we have Liquid Fire Hollow, which is that liquid fire design we had earlier, but with the more rainbow kind of hollowish effects that look really clean. Like I said, with the original design, it could fit on anything, and adding a hollow to it just makes it work even better with pretty much everything. So I'm gonna have to put its hollow a tier above it, up even above the water like sea one. I think this actually probably just a little bit better than the goggles, and I think it's gonna be our first S tier. I really like how this thing looks. I think it could fit with a lot of places on a lot of weapons. And we have the Seeing Red foil, which is a more defined version of the kind of bad sticker. This could work very well with red skins with this kind of foil kind of shine to it, but for any other skin, it's just bad. I don't see it working very well. So I'm just gonna have to put it above its original design, the F tier. It's not a good sticker. And then the final one is the Great Wave Foil, which is a more defined version of the wave. And I don't know, it just the color scheme is very similar to the original design, and I don't really think it's all that much better. I'll put it up a tier in C tier because it's like slightly more defined, but it still has the same problem of only really working with aquatic stickers. Alright, and finally we have the Riptide Surf Shop stickers. So I'm just gonna look at like one of these for example. Um, so we have like a T-Rex with a CZ. That's what all these are, just different colored. Having all these different colors helps all of these work with a lot more skins, but I'm going to kind of classify them together unless there's something very special about a particular one. But in this case, you'd want the color that works with your skin. But the design isn't really that great. This would need like a more reptilian design to work in any case, and most of them are going to be orange, so like probably the orange one's going to be best. But even then, I don't see it being all that great. The T-Rex with the CZ doesn't really work all that great. So I'm just gonna toss it, honestly, in the D tier. I think it's a bit worse than that well-defined wave, so I'm gonna put it right down there. Next up, we have the like fish, and this black one looks fucking sick as all hell. And the purple one also, I don't know what it is about this color scheme. It looks really clean. The other two, on the other hand, I don't think I like as much, but these two, especially this black one, I think this black one kind of deserves its own spot. It's gonna work obviously very well with black skins like the slate, and then this one I think will work with most other skins. I honestly like this design quite a lot, and I'm not sure why. You might have to scrape off a bit because having this whole Riptide surf shot thing at the top isn't really that great. Having text on your stickers is always kind of a letdown. But generally they're pretty cool. And I only see two of them. Oh, there's the black one. I guess they got separated. But I'm gonna have to put this as a pretty high B tier for the purple one. And I think the black one is honestly just under that kind of Riptide one that really pops out at you. I don't know why I really like these designs, but I just do. Next up, we have these octopus ones, which I don't see these working. I'll be honest, this would need a very specific design to work, and even then, there's much better options. I'm just gonna have to put that in F tier. I don't, I don't know what it is, but I just do not like these octopus designs. Still better than these red, like, eyebrow ones. I don't know what they were going for with those. Those don't work with anything. Yeah. And next up, we have black sharpshooter, and I guess these are all named. They have blue, black, red, whatever. Um, all of these obviously work with different skins, and I could easily see like these fitting somewhere on the back of a lot of different skins. And especially on those graffiti skins, you could probably slot them on anywhere on those kind of graffiti skins, and there are a lot of graffiti skins in the game now. So this could actually work with quite a few things. I think it still works mainly toward the back of the weapon though, because he's facing the right and not the left. And anything toward the front of your weapon, you want to be facing left, kind of show, that the bullets are going forward or whatever. I don't know. For some reason, I feel like facing left to the front is better. So I think they work pretty well with the back of the skin. Um, I don't really think they're better than anything in B tier, but I don't think they're as bad as the wave there. So I'm just gonna leave them in a low B tier position. Next up, we have this thing. This one's kind of cool for just having an op fade, so maybe you put it on that, but the base monster design is kind of shit. I don't see where you would put this on anything. I guess maybe toward the middle or on the scope of an op or something, but even then, it's just a bad design. Doesn't really work with anything, any kind of skin. This could work very well as like a patch for an operator, but not as a skin for a weapon. So I'm just gonna have to put these down in probably the F tier. I think it's a little bit worse than that Octopus design, because at least the Octopus design is like two skins to work with. This thing is just too, like, weirdly defined to work with anything, in my opinion. And then we have Bombster, which is like a guy defusing the bomb. I think these were made to work with like that one graffiti Mac 10 skin, but this is the same case as this one. I don't see where on a weapon any of these would fit, and it's pretty much identical otherwise. It has the same problems or strengths, depending on what strengths you might see in it. I think it's a little bit better than the Alp one, because it's at least more like square or circular, which is what you want in a skin, but yeah, they're just not good. Then we have this thing, which looks cool as fuck. Blood Moon Tentacle. So it's a skull design combined with an octopus, and if you scrape off the back of it, it can look good. Even without doing that, this background color can help it fit in more with the skin. This can work with a lot of skins. Like I said earlier, there are a shit ton of skins in CS with skulls on them, and this would work with pretty much all of them since it has 4 different color schemes. One of these is bound to work with the skin you want. I think they're a really solid option for a skin. Sticker. I probably said that so much for this point. Um, so yeah, I'm just gonna have to say they're one of the better options out here. I might actually have to move this around. I think this one's really good. I'm gonna put it as an S tier. I'd say this is definitely the highest A tier we have so far. It's gonna work with a lot of designs and be really, really cool. But that shark, dude, the shark popping out like it does, just really good for the front of the weapon. This could work in pretty much anywhere in any of the schooled weapons, so it'll be really, really cool to have. Especially like the P90 Grim is the one that comes off the top of my head, dude. I feel like that would work perfectly with that. But yeah, next up we have the Stabby Fish lineup. The black one looks very unique and cool. I feel like if you have like a blackish op skin, this will work really well in the scope. And I think it can work pretty decently on a lot of places in the weapon, including the front, because he's facing toward the left. Like I said, that's kind of an important thing. The color scheme on a lot of these are bad, but the black one is particularly clean. It works really, really well. I could definitely see like 4 of these slapped on a slate looking beautiful. Yeah, I don't know. It's a very interesting design. I think the black one's kind of in its own tier when compared to the rest, so I think it's better than this fish we had here. Very clean design, not as good as the hollow goggles, not nowhere near as good as that octopus, but it's pretty solid. And then the non-black designs for it, if I can even find them, there's one, are a good amount worse. I would say slightly better than this little goblin with an AK thing. Um, but yeah, that's really what I say about those. Next up, we have the Wave Rider little eyeball things, and these just work. I don't see anything bad about these. You're obviously going to have to scrape off this horrific background. It does not work very well. And if you can scrape it and the letters and the eyeball are still there, that's all you need. This can work with a lot of different skins, the skull-based ones, the graffiti-based ones, whatever. And in pretty much any place, too. Really just solid design for a sticker. Can't really go wrong with this one. So I'm just gonna put it, right in the middle of the B tier. I think right below that fire is a good place for it. Next up, we have the Buttery lineup, which have a little bit of a kind of shiny effect to them, but I don't know where the word buttery with this weird triangle is gonna work anywhere. They definitely look kind of cool with their color scheme, but otherwise, I don't know where they think these are gonna fit. I'm gonna definitely be putting them down quite a bit just because I just don't know where that would work. They don't seem like they'd work in many places, but the design's kind of cool, so I'll put it in the C tier. I think it's better than everything below it, so I'll keep it up there. Next up we have are these Flick skins. So they're all hollows, which is always a plus. Flick, on the other hand, works in a lot of places because flicking is for like ops, AKs, everything. You flick with pretty much every weapon, or you can, which can be very cool. Um, and the hollows work very well, and the color schemes can match pretty much anything. Like this one would go very well with like a basilisk or something like that, one of those metal-based CS skins. I think they're actually pretty cool. This one especially has a very interesting design going on. I think it could work with quite a lot of weapons, as most hollows kind of do. Being a full circle design also helps it a little bit. I don't think it's as good as that little finned shark one for a lot of places, but just in general, in every place, it would be better. But this one is better, but it only works in a few places, whereas this can work pretty much anywhere in a weapon, in my opinion. So that's that. Next up, we have the flow skins, which are also hollows and go very well with the Vaporwave skins. They've added a ton of those. If you're putting this on a Vaporwave skin, it is an easy S tier. For other skins, it's not as much, but since those skins exist, it's easily up there. I'm actually going to put it top of A, and I'm going to move this thing up to an S tier because it's just a really cool looking sticker. Sorry. And next up we have Skill Surf, which, yet again, not sure where the wording can work places. At least it is hollow, so I'll give it points for that. And it's just a nice, like, circular design, surrounded in black, which helps it work in a lot of places, but I don't see this working on too many weapons. I don't really know where you'd put this. The wording makes very little sense to me. I think it's better than the Buttery and the Wave one being a full circle, but I don't think it's as good as anything up here, which actually is a decent design. So I think it's an easy C tier. Next up, we have the Strafe ones, which are yin and yang designs. Yin and yang, very cool designs, so already going to give it points for that. The hollow effects it adds to these are fucking beautiful, and the nice circular design to it adds a lot to it. But this works pretty much everywhere. It's a bit unfortunate they have the word strafe down there, but a lot of stickers kind of have that kind of problem, so I'll excuse it a bit for this one because the base design is really, really cool. It's definitely one of the highlights of this collection. All the different color schemes are pretty cool for it. And I'm just going to put it pretty easy S tier. Definitely behind these three. I think these three are still kind of highlights in the grand scheme of things, but it's very cool designs nonetheless. Then we have the tier 6, just kind of like the same thing, but without the cool yin and yang effect. It's just kind of a 6 on a weapon with like a cool hollow effect. Definitely is numbers have a lot more personal meaning application than something like Skill Surf, but not much more. I would probably put it right above the Wave Rider design, just because it's a hollow, I guess. And yeah, I don't know. I don't like these as much as like the cool ass Strafe design they had here. We have the different surfboards with different skins, and they're foils, which helps them be a lot more defined in lighting. So we have one for the Akiba Accept, one for the Dark Water, one for a bunch of random stickers, including the crown foil, which that's kind of cool, I guess, but I really don't see any of these working anywhere. I mean, this guy's face looks really fucking dumb. I'm gonna be honest on design. The surfboard things are kind of cool, but considering this guy is also in the back of all these, I don't see them working very well anywhere. I don't think they're a good design for a skin. Those would definitely have worked for patches, but it's not a patch, it's a skin. Or sorry, sticker. So I'm just gonna put it top of D tier, because the surfboards are cool, but the rest of the sticker isn't. Then we have more of the surfboards, but the guy doing a better pose and being Condoman this time. Condoman is kind of funny, so I'll give him props for that. And the surfboard designs, just like earlier, are kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty cool designs, especially this Blaze one, I think looks really clean. And you could combine this one, since it's more like horizontal, with a lot of the wave-based, or like kind of water-based skins. You could easily be surfing off of something in a skin's design. A lot more than something like this, which I don't know. I guess this probably works with some skins now that I think about it, but I don't like the surfboard designs as much as like the Blaze in particular right here. I think the Blaze kind of deserves its own tier, so I'm going to give it one. So I think the Blaze works with a lot of those water-based skins and just kind of looks clean in general. So I'm gonna put them all the way below the Flick right there, and all the rest of the designs. This basically goes for, sorry, all the rest of those designs are kind of mediocre, kind of fall down here. Probably still above the Buttery one. Actually, it's probably not a D tier now that I think about it. I'll put it in the C tier. But really, the surfer things just don't work with a lot of skins, but the Blaze design kind of saves this one. I really like that Blaze design that wasn't obvious. Now we have the frogs in foil. A lot of them have very cool patterns to them, and these ones, unlike a lot of the other designs on here, I could see placed pretty much anywhere on the weapon. This could easily be on the back. I think by far the best placement for these is on the back of the weapon. It could also be in the front. He's kind of an aggressive looking frog. The color schemes help it work with pretty much every skin. Uh, yeah, they're just really, really solid designs at the end of the day. So I'm definitely going to rate these frogs pretty high up there. I think really top of the A tier is kind of the best place for him. And yeah, that's pretty much the whole tier list. I don't think I missed any other skins. Double checking real quick. Yeah, that's all the skins. Stickers in this game. From the Riptide operation. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. If you disagree with anything, feel free to leave your opinions in the comments. Always very interested to read what you guys have to say. And make sure to like the video and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.